a good time. Put a smile on your face, yeah. Keepin Elation Radio. Even brighten your day and help you through the night. Bringing you good music. Keepin Elation Radio. And here's your host, Keepin.
Lady Michelle. I know what you've been through. Don't think that it's only you. Only you. Yeah. Pick your head up, get up. It's only right. Take back your life. Pick your head up, get up. Take back your life. And come and talk to me. Speak your peace. Speak your peace. Speak your peace. Come and talk to me. Speak your peace. Speak your peace. Out loud. Speak your peace. Come and talk to me. Speak your peace. Speak your peace. Out your mouth. Hey, speak your peace. Come and talk to me. Speak your peace. Speak your peace. Speak your peace. I know that you're in pain. You gotta love yourself enough to make the change. Yeah. Your atmosphere, yeah. And take away the power of your fear. Pick your head up, get up. It's only right. Take back your life. Pick your head up, get up. Take back your life. And come and talk to me. Speak your peace. Speak your peace. Speak your peace, come and talk to me. Speak your peace, speak your peace, out loud. Speak your peace, come and talk to me. Speak your peace, out your mouth. Hey, speak your peace, come and talk to me. Speak your peace, speak your peace, speak your peace.
Hello, Thriver Nation. How is everyone doing out there? I'm so happy. So happy to be here with all of you. It's just an amazing time every time we all get together. And of course, yes, and of course we have put together an amazing show. And tonight we have our trauma specialist with us tonight, and we love every time she comes. She really blesses us with helping us process through our trauma, right? Hand claps, yes. So let's get started with our housekeeping rules, right? So, of course, you know, you're listening to Speak Your Peace with Lady Michelle, and who am I? Your host, Lady Michelle. And I definitely want to invite each and every one of you to our virtual safe zone. And as a part of our housekeeping, we just want to make sure that you understand that this platform is centered around the education of domestic violence, toxic relationships. We talk about the different forms of trauma here. We talk about self-love, finding your voice. And, I mean, these are just to name a few of the topics because we have so many awesome topics here on Speak Your Peace. And I love it, yes. And when we thought about this show and when we designed this show, we designed it with each and every one of you in mind. Okay, so just remember that we want to enlighten you, we want to educate you, we want to inspire and certainly empower each and every one of you. So that's what we're here to do, and we can get ready to get started. But we gotta make our disclaimer, right? And what is our disclaimer? All content on this podcast is intended for general information purposes only, and it is not ever to be intended or implied to be a substitute for professional mental health, trauma advice, or therapy sessions. You must never, ever, 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 ever disregard or delay seeking professional treatment based upon any content that you hear on this podcast, okay? We want you to definitely and promptly consult your physician or call 911 if you believe that you are having any type of medical emergency. Y'all gonna promise me y'all do that? All right. Woo! I love it. Now, of course, this month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and so we have been, designing a few things for you for this month just to make sure that we keep you aware of what's going on. And so our episode today is really full of techniques and tools and just different things to help you navigate through the trauma that is often left behind from these horrific acts that happen during domestic violence. And, we want to make sure that we leave you with some things. We want to make sure that we help you so that you bring your whole self, your professional growth, your personal growth, your development. All of those things will come together and really have you thriving in all areas of your life. So let's get started. Let's have our Dr. Lorraine come up. Dr. Lorraine, are you here with us tonight?
Hello. Hey. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another show, and thank you, Michelle. You do such a wonderful job, and really happy to be here. Like Michelle has said, October is the month for domestic violence being honored. And I'd really, tonight, I'd like to give a tribute to the victims. So that means two different things that I'd like to do. One, discuss and bring some things to the table, and Michelle will, provide and do some adding into the discussion as well. And the second part is periodic breaks to do some meditative, relaxing exercises. They are very simple and very basic, but the one thing I must caution you is, even though they will not put you to sleep per se because you're not in a full clinical session, I still am required by law to give you this next statement, which is, regardless of this very brief introduction, it is very, very important that if anyone is driving, operating machinery, listening to this show, do not participate. If you are at home and you are in a comfortable place and you don't have distractions, you'll enjoy it. So that's what I'm required to say, and we hope you really enjoy the show. Before we start, Michelle, I'd like to just address some things with domestic violence and mention the areas I'm going to touch on, and then I'm going to give it back to you, the conversation, so you can add anything you would like to add. So what we have as far as domestic violence, my heart goes out to anyone that has had any kind of trauma in their life. Trauma is a very tricky thing, and it can cause stress, it can cause depression, can bring on PTSD, and sometimes the level of victimization and impact for some people, it lasts for many years. For other people, it may wane itself, it may soften over time. However, we want to keep in mind that every individual is a precious, precious gift of life. And whether we know the person personally, whether it deals with ourselves or someone we know, this is a very, very delicate area for me as a therapist because I've treated trauma for 38 years. And I've seen it in all different forms, different levels, from different causes and roots. One of the things that it comes from has to do with what I've coined and have patented is the inner dialogue. There is a place within our soul, our heart, and our deeper mind that takes everything in we see and hear and can affect us, good, bad, and different. And before we go into any of that, I just want to give a few statistics and then hand this over to Michelle for whatever she would like to share. So in looking back over time, the past 10 years, there has been between the ages of 18 and 24
Oh, I see. Are you there, Lorraine? Oh, 1 second. All right. While we get her back, we will. So, this always happens. When you're giving out good information, right? Because this is just real life, everyone, right? And so sometimes you have things that might happen. But anyway, we're going to continue on. As a survivor myself, and I don't even like to really use the word survivor. I always say I'm a thriver because I really have gone past surviving domestic violence and childhood trauma. And so as a person who has experienced this and has, done some great work with healing, getting my healing together, and it is still a process of doing that. But this type of month right here really means a lot to me because we actually, even though I'm all, domestic violence, I talk about it 365 days of the year, but this month really means a lot because we actually see, people from all over the world bringing awareness, advocates, bringing all different types of programs, different things in all of the states, the different parts of the world. Some places you still really can't talk about it because it is it can get a little dangerous. But here we know in the United States we can talk about it very openly, domestic violence. And again, so we bring out all of the different things that we can help others to learn about domestic violence. We can help them to, or let me say this, learn about domestic violence, but also to learn about some different preventive measures. They can learn about how to help their loved ones. And we've talked about many of these things on this show, even when it wasn't Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We always talking about something. I try to bring a different guest on here that will be able to help us to process through that and to learn the different phases and the different what it looks like. Oftentimes, when you bring up the word domestic violence or domestic abuse, the first thing that everyone goes to is physical, right? Because everybody just only thinks that it's hitting. But we know that it's way more than hitting. We know that there's emotional abuse, there's psychological abuse, there's financial abuse, which we will have someone on the show later on this month who will be talking about financial abuse. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. I told you I got you. I will always have somebody on here that can help you through this stuff. So, but there's spiritual abuse. There's also cyber abuse, which really, when you think about technology abuse, cyber, all of those different things, that's kind of like the really newest thing of abuse, really, the technology one. And it's pretty much a lot of people are doing it now. They are, I'm sorry, hold on. I done lost my train of thought. It's usually the new thing that they're doing to the victims. And so they're doing things like monitoring, where they go. They can put different apps. They can connect it to your phone. They can put things in your car to track you. They can threaten and harass you on social media, those kind of things. So these are some of the things that we need to be aware of. Okay, hold on 1 second, y'all. And so, So these are some of the things that we need to be aware of, and we need to be mindful of as well. Because even if say you're leaving an abusive relationship and you may have children, and sometimes the abuser may even give the children a cell phone, right? And they've already put the tracking device in that cell phone, and you don't know. You're leaving. You're on the run. You've managed to be able to get away. Well, they can still track you down because you just don't know the device is there. So be mindful of that as well. Again, like I said, social media, things like that. Now, in the United States, it's not against the law for this particular stuff, the cyber and technology, but there are some stalking laws in different states. So, Dr. Lorraine, we still can't hear you, so I don't know if you are off mute yet. So I'll keep talking. You can just jump in when you're ready. That's the kind of show we have. It's a real show, right? So you just jump in when you can get through. I don't know if something's going on with your device on the other end. But, with the technology, and it's definitely watch out for that. And if that's something that you are being forced to give, like as far as all of your passwords, if, they're going on, sometimes they may even go on social media and pretend that they're you and, say inappropriate things to your friends and loved ones to humiliate you and things like that. So, let's be mindful of that. Let's be mindful. We are having such a crazy time right now with our just trying to get through. But so we're just going to keep on going today, right? We're just going to keep on going. We are going to move right along until she's able to get back on. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about today was self-care, right? Self-care, and when it as it relates to domestic violence, it's very, very, very important. And many times when we do get away, or we do, we're trying to start over, it can be very difficult because we're trying to manage so much, right? And we're trying to get that life, that balance in our life. We're trying to, avoid burnout. I went through burnout. Let me tell you something. Even when you're giving out so much of yourself and you're really trying to help everyone, burnout and exhaustion is something that you do not want to play with. So self-care is very, 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 very important. And sometimes even with ourselves, we may be out of that relationship, or we may be out of those, away from those toxic different relationships. But if you're not doing things to really care for yourself, do the self-care, do the exercise, do the rest, do the things that are going to be really, really good for you, then you can still get caught up in that that anxiety, that exhaustion, that thing that takes you down. It's so it can really be, it'll mess up your health, your physical health and your mental health. So for whatever reason, be mindful of that as well. And let's get that self-care thing together. So what we're going to do, we're going to actually reschedule this portion of it with what Dr. Lorraine was going to talk about. She's going to come back on another time, but I'm going to continue to talk to you all. But I'll talk to you all for a few more moments. There was she just really could not get through on her end, and she's in a whole nother place. So it's okay though. That happens. Here we go. Excuse me. We're gonna keep on talking though, right? And we're gonna keep getting this thing out. We know that when you have controlling relationships, they can be very, very, very stressful. And they can be stressful. They can be terrifying. They can be downright exhausting. It can put you on the edge. You may be wondering, what might trigger me, what's going to happen. I'm trying to adapt to my life. I'm trying to, I'm actually wrestling with, the shame of what I went through, right? I have all these conflicting feelings because here's the thing, and I always, tell people this because, folks, when you leave a relationship that was abusive, they just expect you to hate the person right there. You're never going to speak to them again. All of your feelings just shut off, right? But that's not realistic. Realistically, the person still loves that person. That was their husband or wife. That was their significant other. That was someone who they've known. They may have known this person for 20, 30 years, whatever, right? And so they have these conflicting feelings towards their abuser. Still trying to protect your children. You may be trying to find a safe way to get some help. You could be dealing with the toll that the abuse has really taken on your psyche. Remember, I'm telling you, your mental health, your physical health, so on your body and your psyche, right? Self-care is going to come in because it's going to help you. It's going to help you, and it really becomes actually essential to reducing some of the anxiety, right, and helping you to be able to function daily and to work through this. So if you do some of the things, some of the self-care stuff, right, it should be able, you'll be all right. You'll be getting there, right? Now, unfortunately, we know there's some myths and miscommunication about self-care. I don't know why people say self-care is very selfish, but it's not, okay? It is what you need to do. It's how you're going to make it. You can't do anything else without self-care, right? I don't care what. I don't care if you get away from this person. If you don't do self-care as a part of your regimen, you're just going to fall back into a world that you don't want to fall into, right? I'm going to use the right words here. Now, some of the myths might be that self-care takes a long time. Well, that's not true. That's not always true. Self-care can be something as quick and as empowering as drinking a glass of water. and taking some deep breaths. That right there, that sounds like something so small, but drinking some water to hydrate yourself and take deep breaths can have a lasting effect and a lasting impact on you. So I hope you wrote that down. Write that down. Another myth could be or is self-care is expensive. Well, that's also not true. Right? It's not really expensive because you can really do a spa day without going to an expensive spa. Right? You can do a spa day in your house. Or, and that could be like, spa day in my house could be a nice bubble bath. You can light some candles. You can play your music, whatever music you like, while you're in that tub. You can do your own nails and feet. Maybe some people, I can do my own nails and feet, but some people do it. It can be something as inexpensive as meditating or going for a walk. That didn't cost you anything. The options of that, the way that is going to make you feel is much more effective, or can be much more effective than if you paid thousands of dollars to go to a facility for a spa. Now, if you could do that, I say do it. But I'm talking about for those who really may not be able to do it, or it's just they don't really have the time or the funds or any of that. You can do these things right in your house. Okay? What else? Self-care can be something as relaxing as watching TV. You could maybe you might want to binge watch or something, your favorite show that you haven't gotten a chance to do it, and you might want to binge watch on Netflix. You could do that. You could, have your nice favorite glass of wine and a nice book and curl up with that. You could do that. These are wonderful things that you can do. But guess what? Some people, self-care for them may be cleaning their house. That might be something that someone really, really, really gets into and that relaxes them, believe it or not. It could be, we all have different ways of this particular self-care. So don't let what someone else does dictate what you should do or how you should do your self-care. It could be, some people relieving the stress of their bills, like just sitting there and going through their bills and paying them, writing out their checkbooks, things like that. Sometimes that's a relaxing thing for someone because it reduces the stress of not having these things done, not having them taken care of. So, again, it looks different for everyone. So that's what you want to keep in mind. You want to make sure that, you are doing the thing that is self-care good for you. What is going to bring that balance to you, to your life? Exercise, of course, we know is very good. I always talk about this, and I'm learning more how to do this one, is the saying no. We've got to learn how to say no. And we got to, and you don't always have to have an explanation. I did hear someone one time say that, you can say no to the people and then you can give them an explanation. I can't do it today, but I can do it tomorrow. And then I was doing more research, and it's like, no, you don't have to give an explanation. Now, if that's your personality and you want to do that for whatever reason, that's fine. But you don't have to give that explanation when you are dealing with doing self-care, keeping a balance in your life. No sentence, and you move on, and you be okay with your no, because understand the person that you're telling no to, they may not be okay with it, but you have to be okay with it. And so just keep all those things in mind, right? So we have certainly given you some of the self-care things, but I'm going to add a few more self-care things to it because this was good for me today. I did it. And I kind of was beating myself up about doing it because I was like, oh, you have so much stuff to do. How dare you take a nap in the middle of the day? But that nap was so good for me. I needed a nap. If you need a nap, lay down. Your body will tell you, I want to go lay down. I'm tired, or I just need a moment to relax. It doesn't have to be, I'm not talking about lay there for 4 or 5 hours. It could be a 30-minute nap. It can be an hour nap. What I do is when I'm going to lay down and take the nap, I do set my alarm so that I don't oversleep, but that I'm just getting enough just to give me that recharge that, when things go on with our computers, right, computers or phones or any of those things, and you try to go to the help desk or you go, to try to get the technology fixed. The first thing they want to know is, did you reboot? Did you turn it off and turn it back on? Did you, did you recharge this thing? Because that's what you need to do. We just go, and we don't recharge. So that's what that nap does for me. It gives me that second boost that I need, that second wind that, okay, I'm okay now. I can make it through the rest of the day. And so that's one thing. And these are some quick and easy ones that I'm giving you. Of course, we already talked about reading. I already talked about that. I don't know if I talked about meditate, but of course that was what we were going to do tonight. I'm not going to get into that. I would rather Dr. Lorraine do it herself because that's something that she's, skilled in, and I want to make sure that you guys get it the right way. But meditation is a very good way to do some self-care. Of course, going for a walk always clears the mind. It is probably one of the best ways to get your mind cleared. You may even want to put on some soft music. When I say soft, meaning like some jazz, some things without words, or they have other meditation songs that are out here that don't have the words in it. Sometimes it's just about having that background music, and then you can go from there. But here's one of my favorites, and everybody who knows me know that I have a good cup of tea. Woo! I am a tea drinker. And I love me some tea. Now, just my regular Lipton tea now. I don't like all that herbal tea. I know people drink the herbal tea and they swear by it. I think the only one that I have drank was I believe it's the green tea and peach or something like that. But other than that, give me some good old Lipton tea. And I love it. Of course, writing in your journal is always a good one. I have so many journals around here. I can't even keep up with them. And they are the absolute best to do. And just writing some things down, writing down your thoughts, writing down, what happened to you today. Just keeping, sometimes it helps with, and not sometimes, but many times, it helps with the trauma that you did go through. So you're able to write out some of the things that you experienced, some of the things that you're doing now to overcome it, and things you may want to see yourself do in the future. You can write. Your journal is your journal. You can write whatever you want in it. If you want to write the things that the cat is doing every day, if you want to write, what came on the radio today, your favorite songs, you can write whatever you want in your journal. You can make it to be the way you want. You can design it to come out just the way that you like. No two journals are the same. And so keep that in mind as well. Y'all know we already talked about the drinking the water, yes, and taking the deep breaths. So also, here's a really good one right here, and it's been really hard for me to do, and every now and then I do it, but I should do more. And that is step away from technology. Stepping away from technology. I know we are in this world now, and I talked about technology and how it has become a problem for people who are in domestic violence situations, but stepping away from that technology is a good thing, because sometimes you can get overwhelmed with the way social media is now. I mean, you may even find yourself looking at someone and you may be envying what they're going through or doing, and you think that it's better than what you're going through. And oftentimes, keep in mind, those folks are lying. Okay, they are all not having this fantastic life that they trying to make you think they have. Okay, and I know this to be true from some personal people that I know, and you see them doing things on social media, and you're like, okay, that's not true. But sometimes it can make you compare yourself to them. Sometimes it can make you feel depressed. Sometimes it can, even if you're expressing yourself and you may not get the views and likes that you see other people getting, that might, send you into a bad space. And just sometimes you're seeing bad things on there. You might see, other people, stories of people getting hurt from domestic violence, and maybe that triggers you, or, something happening to children, and that might trigger you. So just stepping away from the technology sometimes is the best thing. It is the best thing, right? And here's one that I wish I could do more. I wish I could cuddle with my pet. But my pet doesn't want to be cuddled sometimes. So I love my cat. Hey, I love him. Everybody knows that we have this love-hate relationship. And he's kind of like a little bully as well. But I just love him to pieces. And oftentimes he will get into bed with me, but it's at night, but he doesn't want me to cuddle with him. He doesn't want me to, touch him while he's in the bed. He's supposed to lay there. So I wish that I could, have him in my arms and I could rub him down. But maybe if he was a dog, because, dogs, they like that. They love to be pet. They love to be cuddled. But cats, they have their own personality, and they just do whatever they feel like they want to do or when they want to do it. Now, when he wants me to rub him, he comes over, he jumps on me. He's like, this is it right here, right now. I need you to do it. So it doesn't matter how I'm feeling. So that's why I say we have this love-hate relationship. And another thing, if you like to bake. Now, I'm not a baker. I'm not even a cook, for real. So if anybody was listening to this and they think that they wanted to get a good meal in my house, you might not do that. But if you're a person who loves to bake, that's a good thing to do. These are, again, all of the things that I'm giving you tonight are quick and easy. Quick and easy care ideas. Okay. And this one right here that I'm going to say is my absolute, I think I said something else was my favorite, but this one right here might be my absolute favorite. And that is spend time alone. Sometimes you just want to be alone. Just doing you. And see, the introvert in me can do it well. But folks, they don't understand. They're like, what you mean? You want to be by yourself? No. We want to be over here. We want to be in your house. We want to be in your space. We want to be in your car. We want to be. And sometimes you just might want to get in the car, and you just might want to drive, and you just might want to be by yourself. That's a good self-care idea. Also, You might want to volunteer somewhere. These are good ones as well. Maybe you have an organization in your community or somewhere that you want to just give back. Maybe you're a survivor and you want to go and volunteer at one of the domestic violence organizations. And this feels good for you. This is something that, works for you. It's a good thing to do that. It is just giving back, like I said, giving back. That's one of the things when I started my organization. It was really about giving back to others who had experienced, who were still experiencing what I had already experienced, and I was able to get away from. But that wasn't everybody's story, or they needed help doing it. They could get away, but they just needed help. They needed guidance. And so that's what that was about for me. So that volunteering really is a good self-care because it really makes you feel good. It makes you go back into, what it is that you love to do, right? And so that's a good one. Self-affirmations. Self-affirmations. You can't get any better than that. It will make you feel so good. One of the things that I do and you guys know that I'm very transparent, so I'm always, I like to put myself in these things because I want to let you know that these are things that I do as well. I'm not giving you stuff that I wouldn't do. And so one of the things that I do when it comes down to affirmations is no matter who I'm texting or calling or emailing, I'm going to start off with saying, hello, beautiful. Hello, sunshine. Hello, queen. Hello, king. Hello. I love to do those things. One, because those are the ways that I would want someone to address me. So I do what I would want for someone to do. Now, everybody doesn't address me like that. But I do what I know would feel good for me, right? And so I do it, too, because that may be the only time that they hear that. That may be the only time that someone is saying something positive to them that day. Oftentimes people might just start talking at you. They, that person may still be in a verbal abusive situation. Even it doesn't necessarily have to be intimate partner. It could be they are in a toxic situation at their job. They could be, just going through all kinds of things with their family members, toxicity, with their siblings, things like that. So you don't know where a person is. And so that text message or that email that you're sending and it's saying, hey, beautiful, how are you today? And just talking to them before you even ask for anything. How's your day going? I hope that you are having a great day. I hope that the day is being kind to you. Those kind of things are great because you never know what someone is going through. And that can really make their day. So even in that self-affirmation, you're giving the person affirmations, but then those things even make you feel good and you begin to talk positive to yourself because it's going to be just coming out of you in all your ways. So you begin to say to yourself, I am beautiful. I am, I'm stronger than yesterday. I believe in myself. I'm just thinking of some great things that you could say. I am going to make it. I am a thriver. We always talk about that here. So those things begin to feel good, and you talk about it. When you're talking to yourself, you'll talk to others like that. And believe it or not, many people who you are even addressing with this, they will begin to start coming back. So now those people that I'm saying, good morning, beautiful to them, that's how they now respond back to me. Hey, beautiful. And then they say whatever I was asking them. Because now it's received with, oh, wow, she was really kind to me. She was really nice to me. She was really, she called me beautiful today. Like, wow, it changed my day, And so those are just different things. Again, quick, easy self-care techniques. Hope you wrote some of them down. These are things that you can do that can really help you navigate through it. We know that self-care is very, 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 very important to survivors of domestic violence. And I want to make sure that you guys have the things that you need. Again, like I said, we always want to make sure that you have the tools, the techniques that you need to really navigate through this horrific thing that we went through, that we all experienced, but it doesn't have to define us. It's just not who we are. It's what we went through, and we've made it past that. We are, certainly have been thriving. If you've been a part of the Thriver Nation, if you've been a part of this podcast in any kind of way, if you followed me on any of my social media pages, if you have, come to any of my events, our courageous conversations, anything that we do, if you have been a part of it in any way, that you know that you are thriving, that you are going way past surviving, because that's what we're going to make sure that we keep putting in you. We won't stop until it's in you. We won't stop until that's what you say too. We won't stop until that's what you feel. It's that I am a thriver, right? And so I have just talked and talked and talked, and I hope that you enjoyed everything that you got. I know, got a little something in there, but it's okay. When we reconvene, we will talk about some of the things that Dr. Lorraine wanted to talk to us about, and some of the skills, the skill set that she wanted to give us. And it really had a lot to do with mindfulness. It had a lot to do with expressive arts and things like that. And we know that those things help, again, with survivors and victims of domestic violence and domestic abuse. These are some tips that'll go into that whole breathing part. And so we will find a new date for her, and we will get her on and make sure that we talk about that. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get on up out of here. Listen, we have talked, and we have had a good time here. I love each and every one of you. I am, so grateful that you all take the time to tune in to the show, and I hope that you are learning something, and that things that can help you or help your loved ones. It may not be you that's going through domestic abuse. It may be a loved one. But one of the things that I will leave you with, and I can tell you this, so it's closer than we like to think. Domestic violence, domestic abuse happens in 1 in 4 women and 1 in 6 men. So we know that it is happening very close to us. And unfortunately, we just went through a pandemic where people were trapped in the homes because of the stay safe at home mandate that went around the world. It was everywhere, especially in the United States. And people were, they were in their homes with these abusers. And so we know that domestic abuse really, the numbers went up, child abuse, all of those things. It was a lot happening. And so I hope that each and every week that we come to you, that you are able to find information that you need to help you navigate through these times. And if there is ever a topic that we did not cover that you would like to see covered, you can always reach me, LadyMichelleSpeaks@gmail.com. You can always send your information there. We will make sure that we get the topics to you. If you have any feedback, you can always go on the app. You can say anything on that. You can go to our YouTube page. Our show is on, I believe, it's Spotify, iTunes, all of the major platforms that carry the podcast. We are on it, and we are under Elation Radio, and it is Speak Your Peace with Lady Michelle. So you'll be able to find us. You'll be able to, give us some feedback. You can find me on social media. Heal and Rebuild is our Instagram. Lady Michelle Speaks is also our Instagram. Heal and Rebuild Unbreakable Spirit is Facebook. We're also on LinkedIn. Heal and Rebuild as well. So there are many, many, many ways that you can get to us and that you can, give your feedback, or, if it's something you want to hear us talk about, for sure, just let us know, and we will make sure to get that topic on this show for you, because we want to always be giving you the information that you need and that's going to help you to live a healthy and productive life. That is our main goal. We don't do this just for entertainment, but we do it because we really want to bring the best information to you so that you can make decisions, great decisions, healthy decisions for you and your family to be safe. Okay? So, all right, final thoughts. I know we always say be kind to one another, but I always go a step further, and I always say be kind to yourself. And when I say be kind to yourself, I want you to know, don't be too hard on yourself. It takes time to learn how to live a balanced life after experiencing trauma. And every day will not be perfect. And you are going to make mistakes along the way. I mean, that's just normal. You're going to do that. But praise yourself with every little step that you take. Celebrate every step, even the ones that may seem small. You will get through this. And you're going to come out on the other side feeling stronger than yesterday. You're going to feel more empowered. And so when I say be kind to yourself, this is exactly what I mean. And don't ever forget that you are no longer a victim. You are more than a survivor. You are a survivor. Don't ever, ever, ever forget that. Make sure that y'all tune in next week. We're going to have another outstanding guest. I'm so super excited about our guests just for the whole month of October. We're going to be talking about all kinds of things for this month for domestic violence. So please make sure that you tune in next week. Thank you, everyone who showed up, who tuned into this amazing show. Thank you to the greatest producer out there, our Dr. Kimmy Kell. I want to thank her so much. She's always on point, always helping us out through everything that we need in order to bring you an amazing show. So we definitely thank her, and we are so excited to be a part of the Elation family. She is the founder of, the CEO of our Elation family. We have an Elation magazine, Elation radio. We have Ashes to Beauty. Oh, goodness. Oh, I just forgot about what it's called. Ashes to Beauty Clubhouse. That's what we're on. And so just amazing, just a whole bunch of stuff. So, listen, we're definitely, all right, I've been talking. Now we got to get out of here for real. But I want to remind all of our thrivers, when you love yourself, you are healed. And when you are healed, you are loved. Mwah. Everyone, kisses to you, Thriver Nation. Love you, and we will definitely see you next week. Have a good night.
Pick your head up, get up. It's only right. Take back your life. Pick your head up, get up. Take back your life.